All right. Hey, kings and queens, it's Warren Hughes. I'm the CEO of Great Gale, as well as the author and illustrator of afrofuturism manga BOLDSAGA. Thank you, Angelic Comics, for joining. There it is right there. In the spirit, join. Happy Tuesday. Yes, just vibing out and just grateful for another day of our life. So I'm just, oh man, so much to tell you. But basically, just wanted to start it off by saying thank you for joining the live, and I want to give you some great updates. If you don't know, or if you've never been to this page before, I'm Warren Hughes. I'm the creator of BOLDSAGA. Hello, happy to be here. Thank you for joining. Yes, and basically, we're going to be discussing this for a bit. It's called BOLDSAGA. It's a story that empowers our young kings and queens with the majesty of African culture. And what I'm just grateful for is just the accomplishments we've gotten since our Kickstarter has launched. And basically, one of the first ones is that, let me just flip it so you can see right there. We already hit our goal of 500 for production. So it's only like, 26 days left, and we already reached that goal. So like, that is truly amazing because we're getting there. We're making moves. And the craziest thing is this is my first Kickstarter. You know, I've helped people in the past. I'm a graphic designer. I've been doing it for, 9 years basically. So it's great to actually turn it around and actually make something that can really be a benefit to the community. So, Kickstarter's launched. The best part about it is that the Kickstarter was launched on Juneteenth to coincide with Virtuous Con's Juneteenth event. So basically, I did both of those, and we did a panel called Fawohori, Black Art Emancipated. That was with Dope Girls Comics, that was with C3, that was with E10 Comics. Oh my gosh, phenomenal event. It'll be on Virtuous Con, if I'm not mistaken, sometime later on this year. Oh, but basically, I'm so excited that we actually are getting traction. We're moving forward. And I just wanted to let you guys see this if you haven't checked the page recently. So, I've seen the Blurred Girl do amazing reviews of other people's stories, but to actually wake up and see that they actually, her con actually shouted out BOLDSAGA. Looking for kids comics, Great Gale Co. has a great series called BOLDSAGA. BOLDSAGA, oh my gosh. In just 2 days, almost broke your goal by 3. Yes, we're at 300+%. I think 355%. This is amazing. So amazing because it's like to go from idea to execution to actually reaching stretch goals all within the first week. Oh my gosh, truly amazing, truly phenomenal. So yeah, even though Blurred Girl was shouting out BOLDSAGA, that was amazing. That was on Juneteenth, so that's just amazing. So, we're doing the Kickstarter, and we're basically doing the Kickstarter for Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. So, what that basically, let's see if we have those covers available right here. Okay, so Chapter 3 and Chapter 4's cover look like, so this is 3, so I'm going to flip the screen so you can see it. So that's 3. So that's Chapter 3 we're trying to fund, as well as, let's see, and there's Chapter 4. So I'll flip it on this side as well. Yeah, because we're basically trying to grow the brand. We're trying to grow this experience so that more people can experience BOLDSAGA. So again, Chapter 4, and then, yeah, I'm doing it simultaneously on 2 at the same time, and then there is Chapter 3. So yes, what we're basically aiming to do is just to grow the brand. Thank you. It was amazing to get all of it done because if you don't know, or if I haven't mentioned it already, my name again is Warren Hughes. I'm in charge of BOLDSAGA. I created the series, but I'm also the artist and the illustrator, self-publisher. Like everything you see, like from cover to cover, except for printing, is done by me, and my wife helps me with it as well. Yeah, instrumental help, honestly. So basically, cover to cover, we're getting into that whole all-Negro comics mentality of like running the production, only OTL, on the lake mentality, making sure that we fully have a grasp of what we're doing so that we can continuously provide high-quality excellence. I'm so excited because this Kickstarter is amazing, man. Like, some of the perks that we have available are like this Emancipation Snapback with the Fawohori symbol right there. It actually is the African adinkra that symbolizes independence, freedom, and emancipation. Nice. When you can do all the artwork and graphic design on your own, that's simply amazing. Thank you. It really is, because it's like so many times as indie creators, we've seen other people who have ideas, other people who have dreams, and as they're getting close to the dreams, something happens, life hits them in the face, maybe they're deficient in one case or another case, and then they get set back, because life will throw those at you. But it's always great when you have a full grasp of what you can do, or have a team that can really assist you with that. So I'm just grateful that we're able to do that, because I got the graphic design manga side, because I'm a mangaka, and I have the graphic design part, because I do graphic design commercially. So it's great. So when you see Bold Saga, it's high quality. And with the Kickstarter, the best part is that you don't have to worry about, will this get done? Will we actually complete the goal? Because we already have, and we've proven it with Chapter 1, as well as Chapter 2, that not only are we the right people for the job, but we can execute. Definitely. Teams really help bring it up. Yes, definitely. That's another reason why I want to do this Kickstarter. We want to make sure that we can expand this brand so we can get more chapters out more frequently. So that's basically why we're trying to up the production, so we can get more for advertising, more in terms of getting it done more efficiently. And now that we've already hit the stretch goals of, well, the first stretch goal that we had for it was basically, after we hit $1,000, we wanted to give or donate $200 to the Boys and Girls Club of America. So that was the goal that we wanted to do. We already hit that at 1,000. The next goal was $1,700 for production costs for Chapter 5 and 6. So that's already covered. The next thing that we want to do is color versions of Bold Saga. That will be truly amazing, because so many people have said that they love Bold Saga, even on the BSP app by Black Sands. That they love the content, they love the story, but they feel like it's like Teen Titans. They can see it on that level. You know, they can see it being animated. It has that vibe to it. We understand, we agree. But you know, when you make a manga and you're doing it yourself, you want to make sure that you get the story done efficiently. Now that we've already done 2 chapters, we already got the next 2 chapters, well, basically the next 4 chapters covered production-wise. The next thing that we have to do is work towards making that color version. That's gonna be exciting, because we can actually do color for Chapter 1, color for Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, all the way to Chapter 6 and 7. But the best part is that the next goals, once we clear the color versions of Chapter 1 through 4, that's from stretch goals of 2,000, 3,500. Once we hit like around the 5,000 to 10,000 range, we'll be closer. And then once we hit 10,000, we'll be able to get into motion comics, which is what I'm really looking forward to. So we'll be able to get into voice acting. We'll be able to get into... This is really my dream, to get into animated intros and endings. If you love anime, you know what I'm talking about. When they have that intro song and that ending song, oh my gosh. That is truly amazing. That is truly phenomenal. So basically, to be able to have that capability and to be able to do that, that is what I'm looking forward to. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. I really cannot wait for that. So that's why we're doing all of this. We're doing it so we can get to the next level, to the next level, and to the next level. Okay. Awesome. Don't forget to save your Instagram live to your reels after this clip and watch this by visiting your channel. Heading out, but take care, man. Super excited. Thank you so much for stopping by at Jalen Comics. It means so much. I really appreciate it. And honestly, it's so true. Yeah, I'm working towards making sure that every live that goes out from this point onwards, my goal is to go on live once a day, maybe twice a day, God willing, to get this story out there, to let more people know about this story, let more people know about this series, because this is a story that's empowering and encouraging our young kings and queens. I mean, never in a time has it been so important to actually be encouraged. With the pandemic that just happened last year, it basically put the pause on the entire planet, basically. So much craziness was going on. You know, I lost my grandfather last year, so I'm not just saying it just like a soundbite or something. Like, that's something that really happened to me. That's why in the beginning of Chapter 1, I literally put, days may be dark, but still don't give up. Don't let life beat you. Don't let life bring you to your knees and stop you. Find a way to keep going. Find a way to win. So basically, yeah, after everything that happened in 2020, it was just so paramount, so important that Chapter 1 was released during that time. Because it's definitely what we needed. It's definitely something that can empower us, encourage us. When you realize and you read what Masego goes through, it's truly amazing. Give me 1 second. Whew. Gotta stay hydrated. But yeah, that's like all. Anyway, the point is, it's just a story that we really need. It's literally like, in my opinion, it's like food for your mind and your soul when you look at it. Like the encouraging components of Masego is just trying to become the next Anansi, like his role model Shaka Zulu. But first he has to overcome tests and trials, and one of those is the rite of passage. Basically, it's a test, you know, because it's part of African culture, rites of passage. The way how we put it in Bold Saga is that you have to defeat an opponent that is in Nebula, which is that's the precursor before you get into Star. Basically, it's like AP classes to an extent. It prepares you for what you get into. However, if you lose to someone in the first year, you have to continuously go against them until you defeat them. So Masego lost 4 years in a row. Scribble Monk 006, thanks for joining. We're just discussing Bold Saga and our Kickstarter and basically what it's all about. So basically, we're just saying that Masego's goal is to become Anansi, you know, the next one, like his role model Shaka Zulu. He has to overcome a rite of passage. But if you lose the first one, you have to keep going again and again and again until you defeat that person. I love TT Custom, thank you for joining. And basically, we're just discussing Bold Saga. So, Masego's lost to the same person 4 years in a row. That's public humiliation. Parents don't believe in him. Co-workers don't like him. Boss is angry at him. Basically, every type of stress on all sides is coming on him. But he doesn't give in. He finds a way to keep going forward. And I feel that that's something that's so important, something that's so encouraging in this day and age. You need to find that perseverance, and you need characters that look like you, that are overcoming challenges. They're not marginalized or anything else. Because Bold Saga is an afrofuturism manga. It's a story that's just empowering our young kings and queens with the majesty of African culture, showing that you don't have to, as you listen to Etan Comics, it's so important when you can see your group esteem, your self-esteem, that you respect and love your culture, you love who you are, you actually appreciate where you came from, because that's a part of your tapestry of who you are. So when you can have stories that have heroes that look like you, that are accomplishing great things, that refuse to give up, man, that is paramount, that is incredible, that is just, it's timeless, it really is. So that's the gist of chapter 1, you know, perseverance. And chapter 2 is just after a crazy incident. Masego is presented with a choice, what will he do? And then it's the rite of passage, the end of it, the final match. The person he met along the way was Shawnee. She has to fight against a mysterious opponent. Can she win? Gotta read it to find out. But if you want to get a gist of what Bold Saga is, you can sign up for the mailing list and you can get a preview there. If you go to the Kickstarter right now, so I'll just flip the screen so you can see it. If you go to the Kickstarter, we actually have a preview. So let me just go back to the top so you can see it. So if you go to the Kickstarter page, these are like all of the reviews and everything where you've been featured. Read chapter 1, epic preview. So this gives you like more than half of the gist, more than half of chapter 1, so you can get a real feel for what the story is. See if this is what you're really into. Oh my gosh. But I'll even read what Manuel Godoy said, who's the CEO of Black Sands. An elite group of creators. That's what I'm looking for. Me personally, I thought Bold Saga was pretty damn good. We've got tons of reviews. We've been featured on Virtuous Con, Hakuna Mipaka Song, Denise Newsom Show, Pop-Up Show, BSP App, Indie Comics Dispatch. We've talked to people who are, you know, greats in this space, you know, on Afrofuturism and Bold Saga and why Afrofuturism matters. So this is a story that's empowering. This is a story that's encouraging. This is a story that, honestly, I feel we need to see, especially because of the fact that it's manga. Manga, for some reason, when it comes to black representation, it has been lacking for years. It's gotten better and better and better over time. But, you know, there's still, you know, creatives that still want to have their own persona and their own ideology of what black characters are and what they can do. So they stereotype them and, you know, marginalize them. But it's time to rewrite that narrative. It's time to exit the ordinary and enter the extraordinary. It's time to show just how incredible black excellence is, just how incredible black culture is. So that's why in Bold Saga, characters being Osa, Koi, Zulu, there's African martial arts like Musangwe, Nguni, stick fighting, capoeira, even the clothes that they wear, even the hair that they have, you know, Bantu knots, locks, fades, afros, all of that. Afro puff with like braids on the top. It's amazing. It's really amazing, man. So this is a story I feel can empower our young kings and queens. Please check it out. We're on Kickstarter. We've got another 26 days to go. And the reason why this is so important is as you invest in this story today, you're empowering your young kings and queens tomorrow. You're basically showing them stories with culture, African culture that's actually empowering. And this story is not only African culture, not only black people. There are other cultures, but it's land and expand. We have to celebrate our culture to an extent, because after a while, since it's been so marginalized, it's better to start there and expand. Because if you look at major stories, they had a target audience, and once they reached their target audience, they expanded. So we're going with the same approach. So again, Bold Saga, the Kickstarter is live. We already hit our first goal, our initial goal, in 94 minutes. That's to show you how amazing this story is. In just, 3 days, we are at 355% completion. But we need your help to reach our other stretch goals, such as color versions of Chapter 1, Chapter 2, so that we can actually get an animated comic, so that we can get it on YouTube and more, so we can have voice actors, so we can really get into the very crux of the story, so you can see it, and then as the story grows, as it continues, God willing, it could even become an anime one day. But first, we need your support to empower our young kings and queens, to show them just how incredible their culture is. So it's time to exit the ordinary. It's time to enter the extraordinary. Please donate today. We're on Kickstarter. Share it on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, wherever you can. Support. The donations really mean a lot. And if you can't physically support, please share it on all social media so that we can get the word out there, so that we can show that there are stories that actually empower our young kings and queens. Not just try and marginalize them, not just slave movies, slave narratives, black trauma, or anything else like that. Showing them that they too are kings, that showing them that they too are queens, showing them that they have an amazing culture, that they have an amazing legacy with them. That's why even in Bold Saga, our Zela, which is the empire that Chapter 1 begins in, and the crux for one of the main empires in the story, is based off the Mutapa Empire. You can find out more about that in the educational pages of Chapter 1. Again, there are educational pages in Bold Saga. It's not just amazing art and industry standard quality story and art. There's actually educational pages teaching you more about Bold Saga, teaching you more about the actual African leaders that are connected to the cultural practices in Bold Saga. Oh my gosh, even the empires in it. It's so amazing. Even the fact that in Chapter 2, you can actually learn just a little bit about how to actually speak some of the African languages, namely Osa. It's the first one we're covering. So there's like learning about the cliques, learning about the Adinkras. This Fawahodi is actually on the back of Chapter 2, and it's on the cover of Chapter 1. So the very substratum, the very essence of this story is honoring black culture. Azuka Morena, thank you for joining. We're just discussing Bold Saga and our Kickstarter. Oh my gosh, we're having success that, in my opinion, is phenomenal. In just 94 minutes, we were able to reach our goal, and now it's just, 3-4 days later, we're at 355%. So we're making moves, we're making progress, we're moving forward. So please donate, support, share with your friends and family. Let them know about this story. Let them know that we are actually creating the change that we need to see. So again, the Kickstarter is live. We're at 26 days left, 13 backers, 1776. We're making moves, we're making progress, but as the African proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So much so, it is actually on the cover of the Kickstarter right there. Playboy King Hitter, thank you for joining. We're just discussing Bold Saga and the fact that we're making moves, we're making progress. This is actually incredible with the fact that there's so much greatness in this story. I know, I really am. I'm really hyped. This story is empowering, it's impactful. Like, oh my gosh. It's what we've needed. If you love manga, if you love anime, if you love cosplay, we've seen that Hinata isn't black. We've seen that people try and gatekeep and try and bring down and say that, because you don't look like this character, like Hinata or Naruto or anything else like that, you can't cosplay them. They get mad at the fact when people draw the black Gokus, the black Narutos, the black Neji, all of that. All of that. It's just, it gets tiring after a while to see people have to just go through all of this stress. So instead of just debating with people online, we actually created the change we need to see. You're such a big celebrity. Honestly, only God can tell that. Man, I'm just feeling great. How are you, man? Like, literally. I think the greatest, asset of this story is just, it's actually being produced. It's actually getting out there to the point, let's flip it so you can see that. The Blurred Girl was talking about it. Looking for black comics? Great Gail Cole has a great series called BOLDSAGA. Look, she tweeted that. She didn't have to. She chose to, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the shout out because honestly, it just shows the very value of the story. I feel good because of the announcement. Thank you. So much of the story is just so empowering, so impactful. Chapter 1.1 through 1.5 is all out on the BSP app. Oh my gosh. I saw a review on BOLDSAGA by B-. Yes. Oh my gosh. B-'s review. If you haven't checked it out, at B- TV, did a phenomenal review on BOLDSAGA. Phenomenal. To be honest, that's one of my favorite reviews I've ever seen. He basically got the very core of the story. BOLDSAGA is like a manga self-help book. So if you've gone through any challenges, if you've gone through any struggles, if you've gone through any stress and life's hit you in the face, BOLDSAGA is a story for you because we all face challenges, we all face trials, we all go through things. But it's all about finding a way to win, finding a way to keep going in the midst of adversity. Is Black Sands going to post about the Kickstarter? I don't know. Black Sands has their own choice to do. Honestly, they've got so much things on their plate, with their challenge where they're trying to get new writers, they're signing up more people, they're making, they're making a bunch of different stories. So I would appreciate it, but it's up to them. Honestly, I can reach out and ask, but it's ultimately up to them. I'm just grateful to be on the app and actually, showcase that because literally, the story just released last year. It hasn't even been 1 year, one anniversary of BOLDSAGA yet. We're already on the BSP app. We already have a successful Kickstarter. We already have 2 chapters. Not just that, we got merch already. Marcus subscribe, thank you for joining. The very core of BOLDSAGA is just impacting people. We have a notebook available that says walking into your purpose. Literally, Masego walking. And you asked if we reached our goal, Playboy King Hitter, right there. We are 355% success, 1776. Literally. In just 4 days, basically. Thank you for joining, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so literally, in day 1, we were funded in 94 minutes. Just 94. That's to show you how the story it's catching fire, man. It's literally catching fire. And just some of the perks that are available are just amazing. Hey, bro, praises to the Most High through Christ. Thank you. I could not do it without God, honestly. That is a fact. Literally, faith is a component of afrofuturism because, there's always a supernatural element to afrofuturism and manga, which is why literally on the cover, there's a black angel. Literally throughout the story, you'll see the components of faith, trust, perseverance, always having grounded in, morals and values. The fact that Usego has his family component in his life. They tell him that they love him. They give him motherly and fatherly wisdom. They give him life experience. I want Studio Madhouse to animate BOLDSAGA. That would be amazing, honestly. That really would be, honestly. But we will get there, and I do believe it. That's why I'm so excited. One of the stretch goals is a motion comic. That's what we're going for. Before we get to that actual anime, I know that you have to, for example, I don't know if everyone knows this, but just one episode of One Piece is $80,000. Every episode of One Piece is $80,000, or even more than that, maybe $88,000. When I looked at Black Sands and they're trying to get a 1-minute animated pilot, that was $90,000. When Tuskegee Airs tried to get the animated pilot, that was like 75,000 or more. So there's like tens of thousands that are involved with making an animation. And I know because I made a short animation for a client. It was Mama KC. It took a minute to get the grasp of it, but it was just, it's a lot. When you really get into it, like the amount of art, the amount of like extremes, the keyframes, knowing how to draw it, the coloring, the sound, the timing. There's so many components to animation, which is why it's so amazing. And I'm just letting you know now, when BOLDSAGA becomes animated, the first time you're going to see it is going to be 2D. I love 3D animation. I love how you can get into the stories, the components, but there is a timelessness to 2D. That's why BOLDSAGA is drawn like this. There's a timelessness to it. It's just the best way to animate. Because I've done, I'm taking some animation courses myself. And when you get into animation, you'll realize that you get into like the extremes, the eyes, the emotions, all of that can be done best when it's 2D. Because if it's 3D, you know, you're looking at something that looks like what you already see in the world. But if it's just like making a pose more realistic, going exaggerating, you know, the eyes, the facial features, all of that works best in 2D. That's why Lion King, the one that came out in the 90s, is much more believable than Lion King that comes out in the last 3 years or so with the 3D and everything. Why? Because the one in the past was more nostalgic, but it was also more believable. The emotions, the facial features, all of that. I'm hyped to see 2D BOLDSAGA. I am too. Because when we have our motion comic, that's going to be our first steps into the animation scene. Oh my gosh, Black Sands wants to do 3D. The reason why Black Sands did 3D, I understand, it was for the aspect of saving money, because like 2D animation is much more expensive. And then like, they had mentioned scenery. If you ever do a scene in 3D, you can always change it, which is great. So perspective-wise, you don't have to draw a city again. 2D, you'd have to draw it multiple times. 2D is better for a child's eyes. Yeah, I can see that. 2D is better in my opinion because to me, it's timeless. It's good for kids. It's just, it evokes something different than 3D. 3D is great for like superhero movies and everything else like that. But I honestly feel One Piece in 2D is amazing. If One Piece was in 3D, it'd be like, oh my gosh. Go far, thanks for joining. We're just talking about BOLDSAGA, making moves. We already hit our goal on Kickstarter, 355%, but that's just the beginning. As you continue to support, we can reach other stretch goals like that motion comic. Before we can get to the anime, that's like 80K per episode. Motion comics is the first step, so we can have an animated, you know, song for the intro and ending. We can have voice actors. That is going to be amazing. So some of the perks that can help us get there are, we got like the Emancipation Snapback. We've got BOLDSAGA Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 as some of the perks that are along with that. Got a notebook that literally says walking into my purpose. And we have character slots. So if you ever want to be in BOLDSAGA, we have that available. That's at the $200 tier. So you could see yourself as a cameo in it, as well as in the credits part of Chapter 3 and Chapter 4, as one of the Awazela champions. And we have legendary reward. That is if you want to be a major character and have your likeness with the creator's vision inside of BOLDSAGA. So you could be some type of legendary hero, some king, you know, some hero, maybe a villain, who knows? The point is, it's available. You can actually be a part of the story. Spicy Ramen speaks so highly of BOLDSAGA. He said the cover gives off Naruto vibes. I'm hooked ever since Chapter 3. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Literally, Spicy is cool, man. Spicy Ramen, man. That's a blessing. I've been on their, I've talked to them twice about BOLDSAGA, and it's just, every time it's just better than the last. And yeah, when you look at BOLDSAGA, I can see like the Naruto vibes, I can see the One Piece vibes, but the best part is that it's a series all its own. I remember one time, someone had said how like, although I love One Piece, they had mentioned that like it's African One Piece. If you read Chapter 1 on BSP app, you'll see what I'm talking about. We are in our own lane, we're in our own bag, we're not trying to copy a character and they're Japanese in their name or they live in a Japanese area. BOLDSAGA takes place in the Awazelan Empire. You can see all of like the scenery, the culture, the way how they speak with the Osa, you know, the actual martial arts, and stick fighting, all of it. And then there's the educational component. How many chapters or sessions do you expect with Bold Saga? That is a great question. I was just talking to my dad about it. I want Bold Saga to reach like hundreds. That's my goal. God willing, 1,000 would be great, but I would love for it to reach like hundreds, because the scale of Bold Saga is gonna be, I almost did that. The scale of Bold Saga is gonna be something that's truly phenomenal. That's why when the story begins, how many sessions? Oh, seasons. How many seasons do you expect with Bold Saga? Oh, you mean seasons in terms of animation? Or you mean seasons in terms of like schedule of releasing chapters on like a BSP or a Webtoons or something like that? Yeah, I just need you to clarify for me so I can give you the best answer possible. But in terms of like where the story is going, the way how it began, it starts off with the Galactic War and talks about that on the first page. So that just shows you, although we start off, yeah, so if we're talking about seasons, if we're talking about production schedule for the BSP app and Webtoons and things like that, you'd have to keep watching to find out, because I don't see this story going for like 5 or 10. The scale, the scope of what needs to be talked about in Bold Saga is going to be phenomenal. Like, we're just getting started, literally. You know, it's going to be something that's unique and different, but just something that just makes you feel like it's a Saturday morning cartoon. Something that's just amazing. So, in terms of chapters, hundreds, that's what I'm looking for. In terms of animation and seasons, God willing, somewhere over 2. And that's lowballing it. It's probably going to be like 10, 15, God willing. But only God knows, you know? Just do the best that we can. African Action Heroes, thank you for joining. We're talking about the Bold Saga series, the Kickstarter, all that goodness. Just letting you know we've already reached our goal. Our original goal, initial goal was 500. We already reached that. We're at 1776, 355%. All in just 4 days, we reached our initial goal in 94 minutes. This story is catching fire. And I feel that this is what we truly need to see. Even the fact that Blurred Girl shouted us out and said how if you're looking for great stories for kids, check out Bold Saga. Literally. It's just, after being marginalized so long in the manga industry, it's time to see authentic change. It's time to see authentic representation. I'm going to have to get a copy of this. Thank you. You can get a copy of Bold Saga. There's chapter 2. There's chapter 1. They're both available on Amazon as well as PayHip. PayHip for the ebook, Amazon for the physicals. All of that is going to be in it. But if you want to get it as a perk, chapter 1 and chapter 2 are also perks that are available inside of the Kickstarter campaign, so you can support that way as well. So let's see. The reason I don't like Yasuke because it did not show enough African culture from the backstory. Bold Saga gonna show a lot of African culture. I'm happy about this. Yes, thank you for pointing that out. I've been very hush-hush about my opinion of Yasuke because I wanted people to enjoy it. I agree that what you just said is so true. The story is about Yasuke, but when you watch it, you'll see that there was an ulterior focus. That's the best way I can put it. They had a different focus of it. Yeah, he was like the character that was in it, but he wasn't the one that is... How can I explain it? When you watch a series and you see the main character, you want to enjoy the fact that the main character is the one that has, not the clout, but the one that has that focus, that energy, that feeling that when you see them, you want to be like them. You see how incredible they are. Like when you see... Luffy in One Piece, Naruto, when you see Ichigo in Bleach, all of that. When you see those characters, you want to be like them because you realize that no matter what, they're the one that has that energy, that focus, that strength. But Yasuke, they have their own goal. It is what it is. I mean, at this point, I'm not really surprised after seeing how Cannon Busters came out. This is why we need to have things like Bold Saga because, one, it's independent. We own the story, guys. Everything you see, the chapters, the books, all Negro Comics mentality. We own the production. We own it. Only thing we do is print with other people. The little girl was the main character. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. The title of it was Yasuke, but it should have been called The Little Girl. This time it's Misego. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And when you see chapter 2, which is going to be on the BSP app coming soon, so stay tuned. You're going to see it Okay, chapter 1 was the emotions. We're getting into the character. We're getting into the values. Chapter 2 is we're building. That's why chapter 1 is called Destiny's Gate and chapter 2 is called Boost. Chapter 3 is called Trial by Fire. Chapter 4 is called Reinforcements. Oh my gosh. 3 and 4 are the chapters I have been waiting for. If you don't know, I love action. I love stories about action. You know, Transformers, martial arts movies like Raid Redemption, Tekken, Street Fighter, all of that. But I wanted to show that this story is more than just fighting and action. It has to be story and meaningfulness to it. So now that we've had chapter 1 and 2 out, and they're going to be on the BSP app coming soon, you'll be able to get to 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are the chapters I have been waiting for as a fan of action, as a fan of manga, you know, all of that. And hip-hop. If I didn't mention before, I'm also a rapper. That song in the background is for the song that's going to be available with the Kickstarter campaign called Hakuna Mipaka, which means I got no limits. That's literally how the song is. It's literally, in my opinion, it's one of the first anthems of the story. I want to know more about Masego. Well, okay, that's fine. Masego is a meek teen whose goal is to become the next Nancy, like his role model, Shaka Zulu. So I'll just flip the screen so you can see that. So there's Bold Saga, there's the story, there's Shaka Zulu right there, which is the Nancy. You know, he wants to be like him. You sound professional in the studio. Thank you. Oh man, that's who he wants to be like. You know, but before he gets there, he has to, you know, go through STAR, and that's an organization, you know, that trains you. Does he like favorite food like ramen? You have to find out as the story progresses. We'll get into that. But right now, what he likes to do in his spare time, listen to music, into art and things like that. His current job, he's a miner at New Zealand mines. If you read chapter 1, you'll see, you know, how it's like working there. But basically puts his all into getting that goal. But his people, his family don't really believe in him at this point. He's failed 4 years in a row because you have to pass a rite of passage. That's a test. He's failed 4 times in a row. You know, he flunked out of getting into Nebula. He only has 1 chance left. That's how chapter 1 begins, to get into STAR. It's literally all or nothing. So he has to overcome that. Fastest of a Star, thank you for joining. We're talking about Bold Saga. And I just responded to D-Man, Dan, talking about what Masego is. So basically, after all of those challenges, after all of that, he still finds the courage to fight for his dreams. And that's what chapter 1 is. So I'm not going to tell you how the fight turns out. You got to read it, check it out for yourself. We have an amazing free preview, an epic preview on the Kickstarter. So just for going to the Kickstarter and checking it out, you can get a free preview that covers over 50% of the story of chapter 1. Truly phenomenal. Are you going to make a Patreon? That's a great question. At the end of this campaign, we are going to work towards a Patreon. Why? So that we can get into things that I feel that creators need to know. I feel that because of what I've done with Bold Saga, I want to be able to give back now. So what you can expect from this Patreon are things like how to draw characters, how to create a story that's different. Hey Courtney, thanks for joining. Do you write and illustrate? Yes, I write Bold Saga, I illustrate Bold Saga, I self-publish Bold Saga, I market Bold Saga. I make the merchandise for Bold Saga. This hat, Emancipation, you know, this shirt that says greatness is in our DNA. And that has the Aya right there at the bottom. You know, did a dinker for resourcefulness, growing in the midst of adversity, all of that. Why? I believe in the all-Negro comics mentality of you have to own the creation of what you're working on. You have to know what you're doing. It is all praises to God, you know. Sola Deo Gloria. Literally, that's the only way the story is getting done. Literally. Because, the amount of stress it is to get a chapter done is crazy. Because when you're doing this cover to cover and you know exactly where you want the story to go, it takes a lot. I'll be going over what to do with the story, how to make sure you get your stories out there, how to make sure you're not just trying to make something that already exists. One of the scariest things I can find is if you make a story and you get it out there, but then you find it's too similar to something else. That's what we be going over, the make something cool mentality, you know, all of that. We want to make sure that when you learn how to do a story, are you going to get a team? That's a great question. That's a very great question. I will get a team to help me with Bold Saga once I've proven the value of the story and I know that there's someone that can work with me for the length of time. I'll get some assistants to work with me. Because one of the worst things I would not let happen is getting Bold Saga out, making sure it's getting done properly, and then we have a teammate, but then something happens and they either leave or the quality dips. I'm not going to sacrifice quality of the story versus getting it done efficiently, because you don't want to get something done fast but it's not done properly. It's better to get something done properly. That's why the phrase is right. Slow and steady does win the race, because 2 years is what it took for chapter 1 to come out. That's why the quality is so there. You know, we got chapter 2 done faster, so the process of the chapters is more streamlined now from chapter 2 onwards, so we can get more of it out there. You're right, it is working hard, but you know, Les Brown said it best. If you do what is easy, life will be hard. If you do what is hard, life will be easy. It's so true. Where did you learn how to illustrate? I've been drawing for most of my life. Honestly, I've been learning to draw ever since I was into mazes. I like the aspect of mazes because it's like the guide drawing it, making sure and seeing how people are just navigating through it to get to the end goal. After Dragon Ball Z came out, I switched and just took the whole line aspect. Miss Bernice, thanks for joining. And I basically just took it and just translated it into making the story. Amazing God's plan. Exactly. Nothing is by chance. Literally, nothing is by chance. It's all God. And now we're just basically taking these components of the story, taking the illustration and this skill, and after 17 years of learning how to draw, maxing out my library at like 95 items, just getting like every how to draw book I could imagine and get my hands on. Now we can take the story and literally rewrite the narrative. That's why on chapter 1, you will literally see a black main character. On chapter 1, you will literally see a black angel with natural hair. You know, we're not just trying to appeal to just a demographic that has already existed and shown what they think angels are, what they think heroes are. It's time to rewrite the narrative and show something different. So that's why I do it. I would love to get a team at some point, but I feel that at this point, I want to make sure that the goals are out, that we actually get it done efficiently. Maybe by chapter 5, 6, we can get into like the team component. But I want to make sure before we get there that the series is growing, we have consistent growth, we are actually getting it out there enough. And then once I can't handle it anymore, I feel like that is the best time to transition to a team. But until then, I'm basically here. The first person that's really helping my team is my wife, Tamara. Like, it's not just me, although I say on the cover, you know, she has helped with listening to how the story is written to actually like giving perception. Because, you know, even Shigeru Miyamoto has the waifu meter, where basically he'll present an idea and then he'll present it to his wife. And because she's not directly invested into making video games like Super Mario and all of that, she'll give him an honest opinion, and then that allows him to know, is this worth it? So basically, yeah, that's what I do when I work with BOLDSAGA with my wife. And we're getting chapters 1 and 2 done. Chapter 3 and 4 have been funded through the Kickstarter production. Chapter 5 and 6, Lai thank you for joining. We're just discussing BOLDSAGA and just basically the progress. This just started as an idea, guys, from like 2018 to just make something different. I had a dream that Sega grew an afro. Wouldn't that be interesting? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you never know. Keep watching. Keep watching. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I just love the fact that the characters have like the natural hair, so I'll show you something that really... Manny West Coast, thanks for joining. One of the best parts about BOLDSAGA and making it, so let me just turn this back on so you can see what I'm talking about. The characters, man. The hair. I feel it's so important when you see a character rocking hair that's natural to their culture. Because one thing I noticed, I was one of the people that donated. Thank you for donating. That means so much. Oh my gosh. Words can't express it, man. You're helping to create stories that rewrite the narrative. Stories that show just how amazing and awesome it is to have black heroes celebrating black culture. They're not being tokenized. They're not just going into other cultures. Because one thing I've noticed, sometimes people will have a black character in the story, and then they'll give them blue eyes, they'll give them red eyes or some other color, they'll change the texture of their hair, they'll change how they speak, all of that. So it's great that we can actually see stories that just celebrate black culture, celebrate what black characters actually look like, young kings and queens. So if you look at the campaign, I'll just show you. Here's some of the characters that are going to be in BOLDSAGA. Well, Boy Pillow's from chapter 1, but we actually now have a print for him. all of that, man. Like, he got the eclaw in his hand with that nice red background looking super fire. Oh my gosh, so dope. You know, you have new characters being introduced to the story. 3 and 4, why I love it too is that we're now getting into like the actual squad, the actual team. You know, there's a new character that's joined. Here comes a new challenger. Oh my gosh. Reminds me of fighting games in Super Mario Brothers. Mbali. Yes, you can see the culture, and you can see that she's not just a stick or just someone that's like, you know, hyper skinny. You can actually see that she is thick. Yes, literally. Literally. Because we want to celebrate cultures. And then there's another character, Ashanti. She got the assegai right in her hand, this African spear looking mad fire. So fresh. And some of the rewards that you can get with Bold Saga are, we got like digital backgrounds for your phone, for your laptop. I can tell she's going to be my waifu. Yes, keep watching, man. Keep watching. I love Mbali, man. That's why I love Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. We can get into the actual other characters in the story. Robert Shanice, thank you for joining. We're just discussing his Bold Saga Kickstarter. So these are just some of the perks. There's the cover for Chapter 3. Got a new, whoever this is, with a gray arm, with a, looks like a baton or something, and there's like energy swirling around. So, ooh, I wonder what's that, you know? So these are just some of the perks that are going to be there. We got an amazing Masego print. Every time I look at that, it just makes me feel like it's minty fresh. Beautiful. And then the song is right there, Hakuna Mipaka. Like, fight for my dreams all dim and all frail. No matter the setbacks, I will prevail. This is my time. Hakuna Mipaka. Hakuna Mipaka. I got no limits. Woof. Like, literally, that is the song that's going to be coming along with the rewards. That's one of the rewards. That's a song I wrote for Bold Saga. Oh my gosh, I'm a rapper. My rap name is Vanquish. Can't wait for you to hear this song. I need the chapters. Literally, I want them too. So as you support, we can get more of these chapters out there. We can get them out so you can experience all of this black excellence. Got the shirt from the Sego. Got the squad with 1, 2, and 3. Yes. We even have stickers, guys. So if you want to decorate your notebooks, you want to put it on your laptop or anything else, when will the song drop? The song is going to drop in about 3 to 4 months, but it's going to be a perk. So as you support, we can get it out there and we can actually release it. Oh my gosh. That's why when you listen to the Kickstarter campaign, the first 5 seconds is me rapping. It's me rapping, and this is my time. Hakuna Mipaka, Hakuna Mipaka, I got no limits. Literally. So it's going to be coming very soon. As you support this campaign, we can get the production of the song out there. What are we doing? I don't understand. Okay, so just to refresh McKenna, Bold Saga is an afrofuturism manga, and it's a story about empowering our young kings and queens with the majesty of African culture. So now that we've already finished Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, we're working on expanding the universe. So what we're doing is we're having a Kickstarter campaign. The initial goal was 500. We've already reached 1776, so we're already at 355%. And everything I'm showing are the amazing perks that are available for it. I know this might be asking for too much, but can you 3D print Masego toys? That's an amazing question, Demanded Dan. I would love to get into 3D toys. I will work on finding a producer and a provider that can actually do it. Because the last time when I checked, a Funko Pop is at least 75 to like almost 10K if I'm not mistaken, and then $50 after that. So we're working on that. That is an amazing goal, and we want toys. Because I was at Virtuous Con of Black History Month. This kid was like, oh my gosh, wow, you know, you're doing all of this, but where are the toys? Because kids love toys. We're working on that, literally. So stay tuned. As you keep supporting, as we get more exposure for the series, we can get into creating toys. I would love to get a Masego toy. Literally, that would be great. Like either a figurine or an action figure. That would be amazing. You know, having him with like opposable, like hands that can actually hold some of the things in the story. Maybe the weapons, you know, maybe the armor, all of that. That's going to be amazing. Oh my gosh. We're going to get to that. I cannot wait. But as we continue, it's going to keep getting better and better and better. So you've got like bundles like right here. This is the $50 New Journey. All of this is available, guys. So you're literally getting like so much value. So much. The Moving Forward bundle, you know, the Dream Chasers bundle, all of that. Chapters 1 through 4, physical, the digitals, like, oh, well, chapters 1 and 2, digital, physical. Oh my gosh. Masego is my boy. My gosh, man. We even have like notebooks, like I mentioned before. like walking into my purpose, all of that, man. Like, you are not going to be disappointed as you support Bold Saga, because literally, you can get so much value. We got shirts, we got merch, we got stickers, we got songs. Oh my gosh, like all this black excellence, man. Like, literally, you can even get drawn with Masego or Shani as one of the perks. So that's like truly phenomenal. And this is the one I've been waiting to show you. This is the Destroyer perk 200. You can actually be a side character in the Bold Saga universe. And then you can get listed as, in the special credits page, as the Awazela champions. So that's truly amazing. And you get Bold Saga 1-4. And then we got this amazing poster, Stronger Together with Masego, you know, Mbali, Ashanti, Shani, Boypello. And then we got the Adinka in the back. Ooh! So dope, so amazing, oh my gosh. But this is the best perk of all, the $500 one. Why? Because you can actually become a major character in the story. So you can literally get to be in Bold Saga as a recurring character, as a hero, as a villain, who knows? And you get your likeness matched with the character in the story. So you can actually be in Bold Saga. That would be amazing. So you'd be like, your legacy of who you are gets in the story while being the character. Oh my gosh. Truly amazing. Oh my gosh. So dope. So dope. And this is just an example of the posters that we have available, just so you can see. Got one for Shani, got one from Bali, Masego, Boypello, Ashanti. Got these fire shirts. Oh my gosh. So dope. Stand firm. Yes. Yes. Ibambe. You know, hold fast. Stronger together. So fire. And the notebooks. Fighting for my dreams with Shani on the cover, walking into my purpose with Masego on the cover. So literally, you will not be disappointed as you support this campaign, because there's so much black excellence, there's so much in it, so much value. I mean, we're on the BSP app. Already reached our goals within 94 minutes. This is a story that's picking up steam, that's catching fire. This is a story that I feel is going to be a phenomenal series, but it's always great when you can get in early. 2 of the 5 legendary rewards are already gone. There's only 3 slots left. So if you want to be a major character in the Bold Saga series, you gotta hop on that fast before they're all gone. Oh my gosh. You can still become a minor character. That slot is available, but gotta get it soon, because you don't want to turn around and then it's all gone. We have so much value. We have so much story that's just amazing. Meaning, according to Nigeria, Oboki means friend. Oh, wow. Thank you. I learned something new. One thing I'm not going to pretend is like I know every single African language. So I just learned something new. Oboki means friend in Nigerian language. Wow. See, most of my study has been like when Osa, Koi, Zulu. So I'm just always grateful when I can hear and learn more of like the different African languages. Oh my gosh. There's so many. And I love the fact that with the African languages like that, and the actual clicks, that's a tonal language. That's just unique to them. Just showing just how amazing it is. I want to be a Bold Saga character. Doctor. If you want to be in the Bold Saga universe, check it out. There's a legendary reward. It's $500 tier. You can become a major character. Oh my gosh. Truly dope. We will see, man. Check it out, but gotta get it before it's gone. Because once it's gone, it's gone. We had perks that were only available for day 1. They're gone. So this is limited time offer. These are perks. Those 2 are gone. The rest of them are going to be stable. But you want to get the rewards that you want before they're gone. For the limited, like the Destroyer, is only 20 of those left. Those are to be in the story as a minor character, as well as the legendary, when you can actually be in the story as a major character. So this is something truly amazing. This is something that's truly inspiring. We are rewriting the narrative, literally. You know, I know that John Jennings will talk about sequential Sankofa, but we're taking it in the aspect of we're learning from the past to empower a greater future. This is Black Excellence. This is Bold Saga. Oh my gosh. And Bold literally is an acronym for Brave Onwards Limit Destroyer. So honestly, I'm going to head out for now, but thank you for stopping by, Kings and Queens. Thank you for spending your time just learning more about the Kickstarter. We have so much more in store. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Again, we already hit our initial goal we've reached our stretch goals of an extra at the 1,000 mark. We are going to give back $200 to the Boys and Girls Club. They were one of the first people that bought Bold Saga. It's even in the campaign. I like how you trademarked the name. You realized as well. Yes, definitely. It's always good when you can own what you're doing. Not just talking about it, not just saying it. Ownership is the new black, like Derek Miner had said. It's so important to own creatively what you're doing. Not just talking about it, not just speaking about it, but ownership. So, again, we already got the donation set. Because Boys and Girls Club, their board was one of the first people that bought Bold Saga. That's amazing. So now we'll be able to give back to them. It's truly amazing. You know, that was the first goal of the 1,000. And we already hit our other stretch goals. Of 1,700, we're covering the cost of production for chapter 5 and 6. Not the printing, just the production. All the work that it takes to actually finish it and create it. Color versions of Bold Saga are next, guys. So once we hit the $2,000 mark, we'll be able to... Last question, is there going to be a time skip? Oh, man. I love when people ask me great questions. I cannot give it away, but at some point, you will see a jump. I cannot say when because I do not want to throw off the story for people who have not read it yet, and I don't want to do spoilers. But there will be growth as you continue seeing it. You know manga, you know anime, you know there's going to be growth at some point. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So, keep watching, keep checking it out. Oh my gosh, it's going to be phenomenal. This is a story that's empowering our tomorrow, empowering our young kings and queens tomorrow. It's truly exciting. We are literally creating something I feel I have never seen. I have never seen in a manga character speaking Osa, Koi. You know, in chapter 2, like let me just show you one of my favorite parts of chapter 2. Oh man, not just the fact that chapter 2 is done. Not just the fact that, you know, it's got like really dope art. But this part. I hope to see you at BlurredCon. In chapter 2. Nandi, Sinjani Isimo, he's speaking Zulu right there. Nandi just drop into space. She's telling him what's going on. He's, you know, telling her about the MP. If you know who that is, shout out to you, man. And then talking about her, another character. Then she does that. That's one of my favorite parts of manga. When you see those type of lines right there, you know something going down. Yebun Kosi. Yes, in Zulu. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Got that high quality manga. Got that fire art, industry standard quality, and it's speaking African languages. Boy, we rewriting the narrative. That's what I'm talking about. It's no more time for just seeing black characters marginalized. It's no more time for just mocking. And if you love hip-hop, keep watching Bold Saga because we got the song coming. Hakuna Mipaka, no limits. And Hakuna Mipaka is Swahili for no limits, no boundaries. So we got fire songs, we got fire art, you know, color editions are coming up soon. We're going to have the animation coming up soon with the motion comic, which I can't wait for, so we can get voice actors. That's going to be fire. Fire, fire, fire. Just like Playboy King hit it with them hashtags right there. Literally fire. It's time to rewrite the narrative. No more times of seeing, you know, other stories where they have characters that are black and are just fearful. Disrupt Films, thanks for joining. No more times of just seeing black characters that are just, you know, rapping, but they just tokenize it or joking, and it's a black character, so it comes off as a mock. You know, it's time to celebrate black culture. I've read manga. I've seen when they do DAP. I've seen when they put the icon for DAP. It's, yes, literally, this is a new generation. We are, not even going to say that, we are venturing with a story that is trailblazing its own lane. I have yet to see an afrofuturism manga. I have yet to. I've seen manga that's talked about a black character in the Japanese world. I've seen manga where it's like a black character and he's one character with blue eyes or something else. You know, he's like the butt of the joke or something else like that. This is literally black excellence. Literally, even where the story takes place, when it begins. Awazilla Empire. They're not in Japan. Not in the US. This is, you know, same Earth, different nations. Same Earth, like how when you see Avatar The Last Airbender, you know. So if you love One Piece, if you love Avatar The Last Airbender, if you love My Hero Academia, you're gonna love Bold Saga. Yes, no more fake narratives, guys. No more, none of that. No more of like narratives that are trying to undermine or demean our young kings and queens. The time is done. The time is done for that. Why? Because your group esteem matters. How you see yourself matters. How you value yourself matters. We ain't calling him Sego Middle Eastern. No. When you look on the cover, you can tell he's black. We're not trying to fool you. We're not trying to say we're some bait and switch for diversity's sake. It is representation for empowerment's sake. Representation for representation's sake. Because you need to see characters that look like you. I was having a bad day a couple weeks ago. I read chapter 1. No lie, it made me feel better. I was like, if he can go through this and still keep going, I don't have a reason to be stressed. 8:28, all things work together for good to them that love the Lord, called according to his purpose. This is literally rewriting the narrative. There's even a supernatural component of Bold Saga. This is something that's like, I can't even get into how deep it goes. You have to keep reading. You have to keep staying tuned, because literally what we're doing is rewriting the narrative. Literally, Bold Saga. And for anyone who doesn't know, or if you're new to this, Bold Saga is an acronym for Brave Onwards, Limit Destroyer. It's a mentality that has helped me get through challenges in life, and it's something I'd like to share with you. So again, thank you to everybody who stopped by, D-Man, the Dan, Playboy King Hitter, and there's everybody that stopped by, Fastest of a Star, McKenna, everyone. When you watch it on the replay, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your support. It's time to exit the ordinary and enter the extraordinary. It's time to rewrite the narrative. It's time to empower our young kings and queens with the majesty of African culture. Not a mock or a joke. It's time to rewrite it all. So thank you for stopping by. Until next time, keep winning, kings and queens. Have a great day.